Hello and welcome back to City of Gangsters. You're with Ordinath and we are playing the Russell outfit. So last time we got to a point where we had taken over 5 corners, and we're kind of ready now to start thinking about what we do next. So we'll go through that process and play through that now. So if we look back at our own main building here, as you can see, we've only got a few brick wine left. We've got 8 great concentrate, and we are producing crocs, stoneware crocs. So essentially, we're kind of ready to go now here with this. So we've got 3 turns to wait until it's built and finished, and then at every 7 turns it will produce 45 brick wine. Now, if we look from a money point of view, we've got $625, and I think when we hit next turn, we will probably find that anyone we have a favour with who knows someone who can work for us will pop up, so we can do that. We've also got a few missions around the place, but I'm not sure many of those are things we really want to do. So this guy's offering neutral alcohol, which we're not really interested in. So what we could try and do is source some more grape concentrate, which there's nowhere selling, I don't think. So there's none of that. But we do have one here to provide some brick wine, which will open up another buyer. Or we could just start delivering small barrels if we can find some small barrels to provide, which we've got a couple of places we can buy small barrels from, so we can do that. But I think because we've got the grape concentrate we need at the moment, and we need some time for some small barrels to regenerate, we can probably just go on with some exploring. Now, in terms of exploring, I'd probably like to go across to this right hand side for a few different reasons. One is, as you kind of get to the edges, police precincts tend to kind of start from an edge, and so we've got this one over here, which is quite good, and if we expand in that way, then as long as we've got this cop bribed, we're pretty good. But yes, as I said before, we're kind of overlapped between 4, which is really means we've got to do a lot of bribing, so that can become an expensive process. And as you go to the edge, I don't think we'll find any more gangs in here, so we might have some hoodlums, but we'll be able to just kind of have our side that we don't have to worry too much about. So let's go and do that now. We'll do some exploring. Okay, so we've got a hoodlum there. Might go down this way because this block is relatively unexplored. Middletown newsstand. Got that one. And now we'll run out of moves, so I might go back. Where can we go to use up our action points? Yeah, we'll probably go explore here, even though they might beat us up. Okay, so they've become angry with us because we're sitting inside their area. We'll go to a bit more exploring. Okay, I've got another one. There's 3 businesses here: Charles Hardware, Dairy Life. Now, I wonder if any of these sell small barrels. I don't think so. From memory, this guy here, I don't think could sell us anything because he was getting beaten up by the locals. Anyway, we'll find out what that is. Okay, I can pick up some small barrels here, and he's got lots. So let's take the opportunity to do that so we can get the flow of grape concentrate going, and that'll definitely help us. Now, we can actually get a discount on this, so we'll do that now as well. We've got 10 of those, and we can deliver them all the way over there. Just one way, but we'll do it. So we'll deliver those 10, and then we need another 6. Might just add the small barrels to the favourites so we know. Maybe I go all the way back over here and we'll do this one. And we'll get our hands on as many as we can get. Okay, so we are almost at the stage where our front is open, where our business is open. Where are we? We're almost at the point where this is open, so we want to hire someone next turn. The other thing we probably want to do is start expanding on a new corner. Now, because if you have 4 corners you end up with this cross type shape, the most efficient way to expand is to pick one. So for example, this corner over here would be a good spot to expand because you can then get 4 more corners. This spot's not so good to expand because there's only 2 more corners and there's no businesses there anyway. This spot we could expand to, but I don't know what's on either of those corners there. So there's not really ideal locations to expand in that direction. However, like, territories don't have to be joined, but it's kind of nice if they are. So we haven't really got a good clear expansion spot that I can see. I think our best bet would probably be to go and check. Maybe our best bet is to do somewhere over here. None of these are very good, to be honest. We could come down here, but that's all pretty ordinary. Maybe we check what's on this corner, because we've got 2 businesses on that one, and if there's a few businesses up there, then that might be handy. We also would like to hire someone, so the best way to work out who to hire is if you go into the report dialogues, you can see crew list. But crew list is anyone who's interested, and we really would love to have someone who is hardworking, because hardworking comes with organised, and that means that somebody who is an operations manager can do a few different things. So this lady's interested in working with us, and she comes from all the way up here, so next turn we'll take the opportunity to go all the way up there and do that. This guy also owes us a favour. So we could expand here, couldn't we? 1, 2, 3. There's 3 businesses in range. That's not too bad. Let's hold fire on it for the moment. Alright, so our new production's finished, and as we can see, it's now 1 turn into the 7 days before we get some more brick wine. So let's go up to where we could hire that person. So we'll go up to here. And now the way to hire a person is you come in here and you go to the we've got a good relationship. And then it's I'm looking to hire someone for my crew. And my niece Annie. Tell me more about Annie. So you'll remember we looked up in the report, so now we can see organised, friendly, hardworking. So she's someone we want to take. It's like, sounds like a smart dame. Tell her to stop by. And we now have a new crew member. So we want to allocate Annie to the backroom brick wine operation. So we click on the plus sign here and then assign to building. And there we go, she's assigned. Now the important thing is Annie needs to be paid each week, so you need to have some money sitting in where she is. And in fact, everyone will get paid out of this money sitting inside of the small lumber yard which we own. So you want to always keep money there. If you don't have money there, they will leave that place, so the person will become unassigned, and even worse, any expansions you have there can disappear. So we really don't want that to happen. Now, because Annie is organised and hardworking, if you've got one of those traits, you can do production tracking, and it says take advantage of your manager's natural abilities. You get them to do a chart production. To chart production, allow them to improve your operation. So it's only $100. That's one of the best ones, which is why we want them organised or hardworking. If you can't get that, then intelligent will also let you do production tracking. So we'll install that for $100. And you can see now, even though we won't use any more concentrate or crops, we will get magically 49.5 crops of brick wine due to that boost, so 10% bonus on that. And you'll see the $100 came out of here. Now Annie, because she's hardworking, I think if you look at her card, I can't see how much she's paid, but I know that her pay will be significantly less because she is hardworking. So I think you get her for a discount of $3. So $15 I think a week is the base for each starting person. So we've done that now. So we've hired Annie. And then let's go have a look up here and see if we can find a good place to do our next expansion. So we've got here Thermo's Barbershop. So it's Thermo. We've got okay, so here we have, I've been getting to know her. She dispatches delivery trucks for a carting company and seems to be fishing for some, well, side income, if you know what I mean. She's willing to use a connection with delivery vehicles. Could help you out, maybe. So, well, now you mention it, I've been wanting larger delivery trucks, but I want to make sure that it's legitimate. Okay. Frank can arrange all of that, all part of her fee. A one-stop shop. So this will start a new mission to deliver $400 to get a delivery truck. Now that's quite handy for us at this stage because we will want a delivery truck. So we'll go ahead and do that. Now we haven't quite got the money just yet, but we will shortly. So I'm also going to go and finish dropping off the small barrels with the last few moves I've got. So I've got the things we're waiting for. We'll deliver the last 6, and now we can receive concentrate, and we want to just start the mission again, so we want to keep cycling this mission as much as we can. So we now get 18 grape concentrate, and we'll deliver 4 more barrels, so that's done. And now we've got 4 of 18 of the next one. And what you'll see here now is we've got 26 grape concentrate in the small lumber yard. And so that should be enough to keep us going for at least 4 cycles, so 28 turns, so quite a long time. So we've got sort of half a year of production queued up there, and because we're producing our 20 crops, we don't have to do that. So we can pretty much just be selling from now on. Brick wine without needing to worry too much about the production. These notices are just what we did before, and we'll end the turn. So, next steps. We're waiting for some brick wine. Let's try and expand our operation. So before we do that, I think we're going to expand into here. But what we'll have to do is see what else is up here before we do that. So we'll go up and have a look. Okay, so there's 2 businesses up here, which is quite handy. It's this person wanting neutral alcohol. So it's the neutral alcohol mission. So we want to expand into this corner. So first of all, we want to make sure that neither of them are upright or religious, because if they're upright or religious, they will not want to set up a front for us, but both of them are not. One's got 8 for their opinion, and one's -1. So we probably want to get Benjamin Fermo from Fermo's Barbershop. He's probably the guy. Now we need a favour with him to expand. So how do we do that? So we go in here and we click on this relationship button and we look at what relationships he has. He's really only got them with me next door. Boy. What about her? No, she's only got them with the local troublemakers as well. So we'll probably have to use this local troublemaker to get ourselves a favour. So what you're trying to do is chain favours together. So we can grab a favour from Eileen O'Farrell, and then we get her to get us in with Ralph Voigt, and then we get Ralph Voigt to get us in with Benjamin Fermo. So that's what we'll do now. So we'll go across here, and we'll say, we've got a good relationship. Can you get me in with the local troublemakers? And it's like, oh, I can get you in with the Voigt boys. It's great. You say, tell me more about that. A bunch of loafers who would spend every day in the pool hall if they could. So we use up our favour, and then we will go over and see the Voigt boys. Out of news. Okay. So now we can basically... Okay, so the favour didn't pass to the Voigt boys, which is a bit of a problem. Because we've been trespassing on their territory. Okay, so we might have to go through and do it the other way through these guys over here. Where are we at with these blokes? So we will go down here to this corner, who we've got a favour with. And can you get me in with the local troublemakers? That's the Newport's boys. See if this one. Can you get me in with the local troublemakers? The Gallagher boys. Different set of thugs. I'm not sure either of those things are going to help me much. So we'll try down here. With troublemakers, it's quite random as to who they will talk to you about. So if they know 4 sets of people, they might just talk to you about others who you're not even interested in. So it looks like we'll have to go down here and see if we can get them. Can you get me in with like troublemakers? They all want to get in with those boys. This is all rather unhelpful. Don't know who she knows. Let's try with him. Which I think he gave us the other ones before. It's all a bit pointless, isn't it? Alright, the other option is we can just start going around and see if we can't find some other people that they know. So let's, because we're running out of moves with all this moving around, I think we'll just use our influence here to, well, maybe not. We might want to use this corner instead, because that one's no good. Alright, let's end the turn and see where we get to. Okay, there's 2 businesses on that corner, which we can go to. So, at the moment, if you look, we just got another skill point. So you can see I dismissed that message up there. You can always go into the panel here and look at your skill points. So what are we going to have for another skill point? It's still kind of exploring, and we've got plenty of action points, so I'm going to continue down efficient driver, so we've got plenty more movement to look around. So there's 2 businesses here, there's 2 businesses here, and I'm sure if we go here, there's 2 businesses here, so let's use this corner to expand. So who's going to give us the best deal? Probably Joe James. So he's not upright, is he? So we want an expansion, 220, so we've got enough. So let's expand, and we use up our favour, and we've got a new corner. And then your loyalty is going to be rewarded, and so we want to immediately start expanding out. We can use our last action to start the protection racket on this corner. So one of the advantages of having a business already on a corner that you've taken over and established a front on is that you can straight away get some money flowing in, so you don't have to keep topping up the corner. So simple demand payment from him, and he's happy to do it because we've already got a good enough reputation. Okay, so that's good. We're starting our expansion of the next corner. So you can see here, every 5 corners you control triggers the ability to hire more people or have more vehicles. So the expansion and getting more corners is really important. But it's also important to find the right one. So in this case, we ended up not being able to get this one done, which was a bit of a shame. But that's okay. Sometimes you've got to adjust, and this one will be fine because we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 businesses feeding into it. This is a dead corner, but that's okay. We'll have 6 businesses feeding into it, and that'll become quite profitable. Whereas this one we've already got established. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 feeding into it, so it's not too bad. So 5 at 25. $25 each, you're getting 125 every time there's a drop of money. Alright, so what next? Well, I would say it's almost time for our brick wine to land. Oh, we've got 3 more turns. So 3 more turns to do some exploring. So let's take the opportunity to scope out these businesses that we're going to have to extort, and we'll start doing some further looking. So I'll get ready to do that. Okay, so as you gain renown, and this happens around your 5 corner mark, you can pick a nickname. So I don't know about Scarface, Brave, Wise Guy, Silver Tongue. Well, I think we're actually pretty. We do a lot of standover tactics, so we might go with Scary, Willard Scary, Russell. That sounds good to me. All right, so we've got a hardware store. And we've got Emma's Cafe. What are they offering? Alcohol's been banned, but I don't know if you've noticed this city is plenty thirsty. I have. In fact, my family has a bit of homemade booze we're moving. I wish we could get more. I happen to know a bit about homemade booze, and coincidentally I'm looking to expand my business. While I'm not sure I'd be willing to help someone I barely know, I'm sure I'd be willing to help an investor in my business. Catch my meaning. So when you get missions, one of the things you can do is try and work out what they give you. So of course there's a wiki, so Fandom Wiki has all those sorts of details if you really want to look outside. But if you just you're playing the game and you're trying to work out what you can do, you can come here into report dialogue, some of the learnable skills. And these are all the people that have different skills they're offering. So this one has ethnic solidarity and printed promotions, and you can read here what they do. So ethnic solidarity is quite expensive, but it does help you expand your booze production, so that could be helpful. Printed promotions, that's really for speakeasies, so that's so you can sell more booze, but we're going to ship directly at the moment, so we haven't got a speakeasy, so that's probably not useful to us. This guy's just got ethnic solidarity. This guy can teach us, or this person can teach us cider making. We're not looking to expand, so that's not very useful. This person is looking to teach homebrew, which I thought it was the person we were just talking to, maybe. Homebrew, and homebrew. So they're kind of the skills that are sitting there at the moment. Whereas these ones, these will be doing other things. So for example, you might, if we look at the pending requests, this just gives you the location of pending requests. It doesn't really tell you what they do. So this one here might be interesting because an investor in the business, so I don't know whether this will give us a shop or it might give us a front or a location, so we could do that one, but I'm not really keen to do that at the moment. I'm more keen to do the ones we've already got, because we're delivering, we've already got delivering favours for $400, and we don't really have the $400, so we might as well explore away until we get our next lot of booze, and then we can sell that, make some money, and go from there. So let's keep exploring. So we might just use up our moves to go. Yeah, let's go up north. There's 3 here. Atlantic Oil Co. Wood products. Neutral alcohol. So you can see there's plenty of spots to get neutral alcohol if we so desire. Alright. So we'll end the turn there. Let's see what we've got. Parkside Deli. Auto Body Shop. Auto Body Shop. Okay, they've got small barrels as well, which is handy to know. Oh, we got 16 hoops. Now we're going to have our... Okay, so we've got our booze ready to go now. So we've got 52. So we'll head down and get ready to sell that. Okay, so let's put as much as we can in the car. Ready to go. And we'll put the rest of the money back because we want to make sure that's kept topped up. And the one thing I want to check is just the heat on this corner. So at the moment, there's less heat on this corner now, but keep your nose clean. So got to be a bit careful because if the corner does get raided, you will lose everything. Okay, so an election has come about. You can view the results of votes. Now, of course, with the election DLC, you can influence election outcomes by paying money. We really don't have the money for that, but later on it means that you can get legislators in that might put laws in that are favourable for you. So, now it's time to go and sell some booze, which is good. So we've packed as much as we can. And as you can see, we've actually got quite a few places now that we can do it. I like to kind of try and do it in a loop, and I try and like to kind of do it close to home where I'm not going to annoy or disturb people and it's going to be efficient. Now, because we've only got a 2-door passenger car, we can only fit 40 in at a time, which is not that much, so that's probably enough for 1.5 customers, and it's pretty inefficient selling half lots, so we're probably just going to sell 1 and then come back, and 2 and come back, and just work that way. So let's do that. So if you've got the filters open like this, you can move to a place, and instead of mucking around, and especially if you've got a corner that has multiple shops on it, you can just shift and left click on the shop with the filter, and it'll bring up the sell menu. So I want to sell brick wine. We've already got this 20% over the standard price from earlier, and so we'll sell those. So only 14 crocs, so we can probably go and do another one before we go back and reload. So the next one's down on this corner. And what have we got here? Yeah, we've already done the over the standard price, and that's 13 crocs, which is good. And we'll go back, get the rest of it. Now there's no point grabbing a half because you can't really sell a half. Make sure there's a couple of $100 still sitting there. I might take my baseball bat with me because I've got room, and sometimes that can just be handy. And then where are we going to sell the next one? We might go do this one up here. Okay, so we've come up here and we've got Fermo's Barbershop. Now, if we wanted to expand and have a corner on Fermo's Barbershop, one of the ways we could have done it was waited until we had the brick wine. Because as you sell more and more, you start getting favours from the people that you sell it to. So you can see we've got a favour now, so we could have expanded here, but it would have taken some time for that to happen. Now we've still got 12 in the car, and the next place we're going to sell is down here. Just want to check. So, okay. There's a lot of heat on this corner, so I don't really want to go sit there and for the end of the term, because the cops might come along and raid it. So a good idea is if you're getting to the end of the turn, you want to come into this heat, which you can get to by the X key. Come into this heat and make sure you're not on a corner with a lot of heat, because if you haven't bribed the cops and they catch you, they will take all your money and all your stuff. It can be quite disastrous early in the game. So we will go down here, and the other thing we've still got to do before the end of this turn is just, I think we've got Okay, so Annie has gotten an experience point up. So Annie, our production manager, has got a point up. So what happens is as they go up, you can select these things, and this will really help. So there's kind of 3 things for somebody who's doing your production that they can upgrade. One is a production manager, and that increases the performance of any business. So if you want to shift them later perhaps to a speakeasy, or you want to shift them later to a gambling den, this one's a good one. If they're always going to be manufacturing, this one's fine too, but you may wish to do these other ones. So distillation booze manufacture, it decreases the amount of time needed to make booze. So any booze business they're running, they will be able to decrease the time. Winemaking, brick wine, is just a specific one for brick wine, and it will increase the amount per batch. So for us, whereas I think sort of production manager will just give them a 10% bonus to the volume of production. So what we're going to choose here, I think we'll go for distillation, so that if we decide to put Annie in another production house, she can continue to perform. But I think with brick wine it takes 7 turns, so getting that down to 6 turns is kind of helpful, because you can be waiting around a long time for the brick wine to produce, and it means your cash flow is not so good. So we will go ahead and do distillation for Annie. Alright, let's keep moving. Alright, so we'll now go back up here, and see, this is where it's handy. So we can just press Z, and then we just shift click on the brick wine guy. And it says, "I'm sorry, but the shop's closed. The local troublemakers won't leave me alone." We've got a good relationship, so let's see who the troublemakers are. So we can come into this relationship and we'll have a look. The Nicholas boys. Okay, we'll be able to sell next turn, but which Nicholas boys is it? We don't know which Nicholas boys it is. Alright, let's see if you can get me in with the local troublemakers. So, got an in with the local troublemakers a bit. Now the other thing that's happened is we've gotten this notice that says a new corner's joined your territory. Now even though it hasn't shown up, it'll show up next turn. We can actually go and trigger this to move forward. There's a pop on the corner, so I'm not sure how successful that's going to be. But anyway, let's try. How's our front doing? You've got something for me. How's our front doing? Let's expand. So we'll expand. And we've got some movement to explore. We still want to come down here and sell our booze, but we'll take the opportunity to clear away some black. And alright, let's see. Now this person's timer should have expired from being harassed. So we've already got above the standard price, and we've sold the last of our booze. So that might be a good place to stop. We've sold 1 full level of our booze. Our corner's about to expand, or our second corner's been established and it's about to expand. We've got our protection racket running quite well, and we've gone and employed someone, and we're ready with our next lot of brick wine, which is great. So things are really starting to move along. I think next time we come back we will actually need to establish ourselves in terms of getting the cops on our side. So we've got a bit of bribing to do, and that'll allow us to get some weapons so that we can start kicking these hooligans into shape. So we want them to stop harassing businesses so we can sell stuff. And in some cases we'll want to get rid of them in some way, shape or form. So we've got territory to expand into, probably on this northern side. So look, thanks for watching. If you've watched all this way through, obviously you're interested in the series, so it'd be great if you could like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next episode.